Good morning, folks. I'll be giving you a demonstration today, a 20-minute demo, and I'll be going through the whole use case. So again, I'm Eli, and we'll be going over Salesforce. And this is after a meeting we had with the customer company ABC. So yeah, thank you for meeting with us again. This is Eli, your Salesforce engineer, and today we're going to talk about delivering success. So thank you again for your time last week, and we're excited about today. So what we've discussed previously from the discoveries, you had some of those challenges. Disjointed system, one system to manage cases, one system to measure marketing ROI, return on investment, one system to send emails, another one to work on deals, and you put notes on your phone, on your tablets, on notebooks, etc. And then inconsistent communications. We don't really know who the customer is, so they reach out with a question, we give them a different response about a different product. So we want to move away from all of that and focus on what is nice. So customer 360, let's unify our customer view. Let's have data-driven insights to know exactly where we're at, where we want to get, and how the data is telling us that information. So we're making smart decisions. And then lastly, and ultimately, revenue growth. We want to increase our revenue. Is that consistent with what we've heard last week? Has anything changed? Perfect. Great to hear that. Wanted to throw in this number here for y'all. This is something your sales leader mentioned last week. That is, only a quarter of the customers have more than one product. Y'all supply and sell a handful, maybe close to a dozen in some situations, products, but only a quarter have more than one product. So let's make sure they're happy. All of our 100% customers are happy. Let's align the marketing team so that they know what these customers have, and let's increase that number through our sales initiatives. Okay, so for our demo, we're gonna have two personas. James, our sales rep, he's new. He's focused on hitting his quota and buying the car of his dream. And then we have Julie. She's an experienced executive focused on customer success and her team's performance. So let's jump into that demo. Perfect. Are you able to see my screen? Perfect. Great to hear. Okay. So this is my homepage. This is my command center. So again, I'm James. I'm a new sales rep, and this is my goal, my quota for the year. This is where I'm at, and this is how much pipeline I have to get there. By the way, for me to access the system, user and password on any browser, and boom, I'm good to go. Very straightforward. So if I'm on vacation and I need to be able to access this, fairly straightforward. If I'm having dinner with my parents and I need to just go in there, find an email address so my peers can send them an email. In fact, I don't even need to do that, and we're going to show you how. So this is a great solution because it also integrates with my Outlook. So I don't need to go to my Outlook and see, oh, I have a meeting at 4 p.m. and I have that discussion with Acme later this evening. It's all right there for me. I love it. So I can access on any browser, on my mobile device, on someone else's laptop. Love it. It's also telling me tasks that I have created for myself, someone created for me, or that were automated for me. Such as when I have a new lead, like we see here, it creates tasks for me to reach out to them. So I love that. This is probably the next thing I want to be doing today. And then, of course, I have a dashboard. So this is a dashboard that's showing me how I'm doing this month. So keeping things front and center, how much I've closed. This is where my opportunities at in the sales cycle. And then lastly, my top opportunities. So really helping me understand where I'm at and what I need to be doing to move along in the process. Okay, so before I move on, I was curious, how does this compare to what you have today in terms of gathering the thoughts and initiatives of your sales reps to start with their day? Thank you. Another question I had, are there anything else that you would want to achieve on a homepage, other things that you want to drive from a homepage? So Is there anything else you want added there? Okay, no, thank you very much for sharing. And yeah, so before here we resume, I was just wondering if there's any other questions. Okay, we're good to go. So let's carry on. So now I want to work on my new leads. And here we go. I go to navigate my leads and I have a list of them. I can choose to work on them alphabetically, but what I love to do is view them on the stages they're at. And I want to focus on the ones I'm nurturing that are furthest along the process. Within a glimpse view, I see who she is, where she works at. Okay, she's rated cold, so I need to do a little bit more work. The system is telling me identify some pain points. Again, I'm new, so this is really helpful because now I understand what I need to accomplish to do there. Okay, it's telling me which campaigns she's part of. So those are very good ones in the future. So I add more folks to them. And here we go. We have some overall information on who she is. Let me give her a quick call. I don't need to remember who she is. It's right there for me. She's a system admin at an insurance company. That's their name. That's their website. So let me give her a call. And there we go. Let me log that activity in here. The call went great. And now she wants to move forward with a demo. Just within a few clicks, I was able to go ahead and save that record into here. Lovely. So now I want to convert her, and that's going to create a few things for us: a new account, a contact, and some opportunity. So this is going to be the first opportunity. Mind you, there's a lot we can sell them in the future. So let's make sure we keep using as many opportunities as we have with her in the future. So for product A, we'll have an opportunity for product B if we follow up in a year from now and we want to sell something. So I love that functionality and that benefit. And by the way, if she's an existing contact or account that just happened to be reaching out about something else, we can definitely leverage that functionality. And all of it, all these benefits, so I was able to work on that lead within a few minutes, convert her, all of it is automated. I don't need to recopy my notes, have any errors. Oh, she was interested in product A, and here I forget to put that. It's all right there for me. So let me ask, how do you currently work on leads today? And how does that compare? Oh, that is great to hear. Oh, I love to hear about all the time you're saving up. So now with that time you're saving up, you can go after more leads, right? So if I go back here, now I can choose to again view my leads, maybe filter them and say I want to focus on my new ones. So this would be the status, the lead status. So there we go. I want it to be the new ones. Boom. Just like that, now I have my new leads. And what I can do is maybe send them an email, right? Add them to a marketing campaign. Very easy, very good. So next, I remember I had that meeting that I need to focus on. I can go back to the homepage, search the account, but I know their names, so let me go ahead and search them. There we go, Acme, this is giving me everything. So I can search for notes, I can search for phone numbers, names, all of it right there. Let me go into Acme. Similar to what we saw before at the lead prospect level, now we see at an account. Who they are, what industry they're in, what previous activity happens from emails we've sent, tasks we have, it's all right there. So I don't need to go to my Outlook. I don't need to go to my notebook. It's all right there. Very important for me is to know who is who. So Howard, the person I have a meeting with, he's the buyer. Of course, we need to make sure Jennifer, the CEO, is on board because she's the eventual signer, and all the other opportunities. So we've been selling a lot of widget A, but not widget B, and I can see that. I also see we have an open case and that's escalated. So we need to make sure we help them turn on that feature before we move along and have that meeting to sell them more. Again, this is where I see their details, overall, who they are, how many employees they have, their address, so I can go ahead and put it on my mobile device and get there. That's where we see the contacts again and the opportunities, what we've won, what we're working on. So the next one I want to go to is this one. And then from marketing perspective, all the campaigns they've been part of, what's the influence they had, what was closed won because of them. Yeah, now we're aligning the marketing team with the sales team. I can add people to a campaign. And then, of course, that service case we just mentioned. And here's where I can see, okay, what's the status been? Has it been worked on? Is it moving along? Okay, so it's been escalated, so we're happy someone is working on it. And I can go ahead here and say, are there any updates? And now they'll get a notification on their mobile device, on their email, or within Salesforce that I have this meeting and I need to know what is happening over here. Okay, so now that I've aligned everyone, I'm ready to jump into that deal. And here we go. I have this opportunity. Let's fast forward a little bit. I've had the on-site. I studied everything about the client. The meeting went great. So I am moving this to negotiations. I updated my on-site to say we have to send quotes, and I created this task to using voice dictation on my mobile that by tomorrow I need to send a quote. Again, just within a few clicks, I'm able to do that. Do it tomorrow, parapim, parapum, and we have it. So I don't need now to remember that. It's all right there in for me. And now I'm one step closer to getting the car of my dream, and I'm super excited. Any questions so far? Lovely. Okay, so now let's move into our last chapter, which is me being Julie, the executive. So I, as Julie, the executive, I have to do quarterly reviews and see how my team is doing, how the marketing team is doing. So let's get started. Every field in Salesforce, you can report on it and put it in this nice dashboard. So I can see not just the sales rep, James, but all the other folks, how much they've closed, what's their pipeline at, what our closed one is, how far we're getting to it, our top account. Oh, and here I noticed who's close winning a lot of work, who's creating a lot of pipeline. I'm super excited about here the sales rep. Like, so I want to motivate James and tell him, great job lately, and way to go. One step closer to the car of your dream. Again, this is where I can also go ahead and talk with numerous folks and not just one person. So I can send this to a channel of people, they'll get notified and see all of that great information. So how do you today handle all of these reports and dashboards coming your way? And how long does it take you to have something like that? Absolutely. Yeah. So this would go from like a few minutes to what you're describing as a few days to get all of that. So I'm happy to hear that we can help you, align on that front. And yes, all this data is real time. Within a click button now, you saw how this dashboard now changed because that opportunity, the Acme 1250 widgets, has moved further along the process. So it's in that negotiation stage. And here we go. I, as an executive now, can jump in and see that information. So let me click into it. There we go. So I can now jump in and help the new sales rep, help guide them through it because this is a big deal and we need to close it. I can now interact with them, collaborate, do all of that good stuff. I don't need to micromanage them, but I'm enabling them for their success. I'm helping drive the results we want. Perfect. So in this demonstration today, we've shown you quite a few things. So let's go back to our deck and talk about it. And before we move forward, are there any questions? I definitely hear you on the point of the cloud. So Salesforce is based in the cloud, and this is a customer data, so we want to make sure we secure them. So no, thank you so much for raising it. If you don't mind me asking, what is the source of the concern with cloud security? Is this the first product you have in the cloud or because it's customer data? Okay, thank you so much for sharing. So yeah, in fact, Salesforce has a multi-layered approach for security from the infrastructure level to the application and the network. We have a lot of compliance certifications such as SOC 1, 2, 3. I'm very happy to share all of those so that you can rest assured that security is never going to be a concern for y'all because it's our top priority. It's our top concern. So thank you so much for asking that. Okay, so moving along here, what we've shown you in the demo is how we can align the sales, service, and marketing team to increase revenue through cross-sell, upsell. I was able to see what Acme has, what more we can sell them. I was able to see what open cases they had and escalate them and ask for an update. So when I go meet the customer, they had all their issues fixed. And I was lastly able to see the marketing impact that are having, creating new leads, and the customers, the impact they're having on my customers. So that's how we can now affect positively all of these aspects. Then we showed you team collaboration from executive to salesperson, how we can convert leads, and how we can subscribe. In fact, I actually forgot to show you that. So I, as an executive, could go back to my dashboard and say, hey, I want to be able to see that any day of the week. So now I subscribe to it and I receive it by email. So those automations helping you save time. It's helping you have less errors. It's aligning the whole team, the sales, service, marketing team on customer success. And lastly, like we showed in those dashboards, we're making decisions based on data. Before we conclude, I wanted to share a customer story with T-Mobile on how they were able to reduce the number of clicks in their sales process, increase renewal by 85%, and save 7 hours per week in redundant admin work. I put a link here in it so you can read more about it, and we're more than excited for you to start on the Salesforce journey and start benefiting from similar advantages, outcomes. So before we wrap up, some next steps. The account executive will reach out and discuss pricing. Our services team is here to talk about implementation. I know you mentioned integrations with other systems. So in fact, Salesforce has open API, so it would integrate with most ERP solutions like SAP and Oracle, the ones you mentioned you're using. And then lastly, I know price is a big point, so we can do a business impact assessment to see the potential return on investment based on your numbers. So how many leads you have, what's your conversion rate today that Salesforce can now help you achieve. So with that, I want to say thank you so much, and we are done with the demo.